Good morning, Sam. Today is Sunday. Alright, so I loved your response, even though it was a lot shorter than all of your other videos. You and Ellen are so adorable. I loved your video, even though sometimes your comments were a little bit racy. More ways than one. Let's see. And I was surprised to find out that the person who was more humble seemed to be more social. I would have thought that would have been the exact reverse, but I guess it makes sense as to why people would want to comfort him, so maybe for that reason. Let's see, so there have been a lot of things going on. There have been a lot of things going on in my life, so I've been playing this one game called Humans vs. Zombies. Which is like an in-between classes game where you have a bunch of people who are the humans with bandanas on their head, zombies, bandanas on their arms, and they like chase each other around and stuff. And right now I'm a zombie. I wanna eat some brains. I also had to spend the entire Sunday in this, Saturday in this room with professors coming up and talking about whatever research they're doing, which is interesting sometimes. Like there's this one guy that talked about black holes and gravitational waves that are caused by them, and then he was inviting us to do research with him. And then there's this one other person that's just kind of like, here's what weird music sounds like. He was a music teacher and his music wasn't very good. That was not fun. I've also been doing this, so I've also been trying to set up this Quidditch team here almost, but the first step is for me to get Quidditch hoops. So I've been kind of working on getting those approved because I don't really want to spend my own money on that. So regarding your question on what makes people smart, my answer to that is I have no idea. This is something that I thought a while back about, and I came up with the theory that everybody is equally intelligent, but we all apply it to different ways. Like, somebody who's very smart mathematically is just as smart as somebody who's really smart athletically and is really good at sports, and somebody who's really smart at reading, comprehension, and all that stuff. And that proved not to be as true when I thought about how people are like there is a disease to make you retarded. So it's not like you can just have two different levels of intelligence. One people where everybody's normal, and then another one where like people have mental disabilities are. There's got to be some in between. So unfortunately, I no longer believe that everybody is equally intelligent. So if not everybody is equally intelligent, the question becomes, how do we find out how intelligent people are? And there are three different popular ways that I've heard of. One of them is the, I guess this is just something, not an official theory, but something I keep on hearing people say is like street smart versus academic smart, like school smart. So this would be like, I know what 12 times 12 is, but I have no idea how to socialize at a party and that kind of stuff. Yeah. Another intelligence that I've heard of is called the general intelligence, and this is the one that is generally measured by your IQ score. And this is what one guy came up with for like cognitive processing ability. And that one I don't quite agree with, is I feel like people will have like this general processing ability, but like let's say somebody's really slow at taking in information, and the other person's really quick at it. That doesn't mean that the person who's really fast at it is less intelligent. So that becomes like more difficult to describe. And the theory of intelligence that I think is my favorite is one that this one dude came up with, and his name is Howard Gardner. And he came up with like this theory of multiple intelligence to kind of try and describe how smart people are. And his intelligence categories are visual spatial, verbal linguistic, body kinesthetic, logical mathematical, interpersonal, musical, intrapersonal, naturalistic. And I really like this one because it's like somebody who's really quick at reading is not so much more intelligent than somebody who's really good at sports. They just have different intelligence areas and like where their brain is devoted to. So yeah, I think that's my favorite theory. The only problem with it is that intelligence is a little bit harder to explain. So like, let's say you had somebody who was really good at mathematics and like memorized all these formulas but couldn't apply it. That person to me seems to be both like intelligent in one area but unintelligent in the other. So like creativity goes into intelligence and all this random stuff. And so I'm gonna try and change your question into like what makes somebody intelligent versus wise. And I remember defining like the difference between the two as one of them is like how much information you can take in, and the other one is how you would apply that information. So getting back to your question of what makes somebody smart, I would answer this kind of in two parts. One of them being that a person who is smart is both knowledgeable and wise and can like apply their information that they've learned and not just take it in and like spit out random digits of pi. The other one being that intelligence is a little bit harder to look for than just kind of what your ACT score is. And that people can be smart in plenty of different ways, being it spatial or intrapersonal, knowing yourself very well, social, like those are all different types of intelligences. And so, let's see, I believe that we often like to think of certain people as being less intelligent than us, but in the end, it is really hard to define how intelligent somebody is. And if you were to just know somebody for a little bit, you could define them as being wrong, like you said. But for you to say anything about their intelligence would be a lack of intelligence on your part, I guess. So then I'm going to finish it off by asking you a question. And my question is going to get pretty complicated, so bear with me. Way back when we both figured out that we had like a statement that guided our life, and I remember you calling it your mission statement, I believe, and I called it my meaning of life. And those things, I guess, like guided our actions. Slowly I feel like mine is slipping away. And And sometimes the reasons I do things are not in that statement. Like, sometimes the reasons I do things do not apply to the statement, and I still don't consider them mistakes. So my question to you is, how do we know what the right thing to do is? And how do we know which decisions we should make? Well, Sam, that's it for today. I hope you have a good response from me, and I will see you later.